Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Brothers Take podcast. I'm Chris, and I am joined by my brothers, Adam.
Hello.
And Eric.
Hello.
And we are back in the room to give our take on more nerdy shit. This week, Stranger Things Season 4 is coming out. And you want to know something else strange? We went to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness recently, which released earlier this month. The big MCU movie of May. And it's been out long enough that I feel like we should talk full spoilers on this.
Even if you haven't seen it, you've seen it.
You've seen it. Sure, you've seen it.
It's all over Twitter.
It's all over the place. It's all over the place. And if you really wanted to see it, I feel like with the MCU movies, it's always so quick. Like if someone's wanting to see it, they go out and see it as quickly as they can. So, but fair spoiler warning, once the intro music kicks off, in case you're someone who's decided, I'm going to wait till it's out on Disney Plus and I've actually silenced everything on Twitter and I haven't seen anything and I'm holding off, then spoiler warning, this probably isn't the conversation for you because we're going to be talking full spoilers, our thoughts on the movie, how we felt about it, and also go into our thoughts on the MCU Phase 4 as a whole at the moment. But we'd also love to hear from you guys as the conversation goes on. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please feel free to jump down in the comments, share your thoughts on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. How did you feel about it? Because I don't know if everyone's checked out reviews and stuff. This is one of the more divisive MCU movies, which makes it very interesting. And it makes people's, not everyone's in the one lane. It's kind of interesting to see where everyone falls on this and why they fall that way. We might even have diverging opinions on it. So it'll be interesting to see. So yeah, again, if you watch this YouTube, jump down in the comments, share your thoughts. And if you enjoy this discussion, please give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, click that notification bell for all future content. And if you guys are listening to us on audio platforms, and you can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take to give your take on everything we bring up here today. But without further ado, let's get strange.
Let's not. Let's get freaky.
Let's you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. What? That's a Batman reference. Okay, what were your hype levels for Doctor Strange beforehand anyway? How excited were you guys to check out Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? We're all, I think, at varying levels in terms of how engrossed into the MCU we are. Eric, I'll come to you first. Out of us, Eric famously seems to take a stronger disliking towards MCU movies.
Yeah, that's true. I just going to see it because you asked, and I went, okay.
All right. So you're just up for the experience.
Yeah, I'll just go up. Yeah, go see it. Why not?
Okay, so you went in with no expectations.
Not really. I wasn't going to say this is going to be the best thing ever, nor is it going this is going to be awful. I just kind of, I'll go in. Sure, they said it's the first time it's horror. That could be interesting. Why not? Let's go into it.
Did they say that? Were they already prepping for that?
Yeah, it was the first ever MCU movie with the rating of horror in its list of genres.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So that was intriguing. And some of the visuals looked interesting from the trailer.
Yeah. Adam, what was your hype level or anticipation level for the movie?
I was looking forward to this one. I didn't like the first Doctor Strange. And I think once it got to Infinity War, Strange became a character I actually really, really liked. And so I thought maybe after that, and we've seen that before with Captain America solo movie, not great. After the Avengers, once he's kind of established a little bit, then his films become a little bit better. We see that with various characters. So I thought once they kind of got the mold right with Strange from the Avengers movies, that his next solo movie would be really interesting. Plus, it's coming off the bat of WandaVision and Spider-Man, dealing with the whole multiverse stuff. So I was actually looking forward to it.
Yeah. I was also very hyped for it. I thought the trailers looked fantastic. I thought the visuals in the trailers in particular were really interesting. And the fact that, the horror had been attached to it, that Sam Raimi was directing it. I love the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies in particular. But also, I just thought it's like, oh, okay. Like I also didn't like the first Doctor Strange movie, so I thought maybe a different director is a good idea, and maybe this will be a case of like, when the Russo brothers took on Captain America, and it just turned out they happened to be the right guys to just to update this and make Captain America a very likable character, because I previously didn't like him, and then he's became like my favorite MCU character. So I kind of thought that yeah, especially after Infinity War, which I think is peak Doctor Strange. Even now, I think is peak Doctor Strange. That he's fucking incredible in that movie, in the way he's handled. So yeah, I was really, really excited to see what Sam Raimi does with this movie. But now we could jump right into how we felt after watching the movie. Eric's big smirk. Go ahead, Eric. Go on. How did you feel after watching Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness?
I think one of the things I said to you,
Adam sneezed because he's not ready for what you're about to say.
I think one of the main things I said to you as we were walking out of the cinema was, I don't ever want to see an MCU movie in the cinema again.
Wow, they're not all like that. Come on.
No, that's true. That's true. They're not all like that. No, that's a hard.
That's not even one of the worst ones.
No, that's true. It wasn't one of the worst ones. There was good things in it, but it kind of seemed a little bit like it was a slight mess, in my opinion.
It's only a slight mess.
A slight mess. In that there was two different stories in it.
That's the most hardcore two I've ever seen. And he was just listening.
He does do that in the movie, so
he does do that in the movie. But
Yes.
There's like two separate movies in it that were really interesting that they could have touched on and explored more, and they kind of missed their opportunity with that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I think Wanda wanting her kids back and going to any means to get them back could have been a great movie on its own. Like giving Wanda her own separate movie, because she was awesome in it. She was, in my opinion, the best thing about the movie was Wanda. She was class. Just give me more of that. And then the other thing they could have done was when he goes to the dark world. I don't know what the dark universe, where it's all the different Earths colliding with itself.
Yeah, and it, like suddenly the budget went up.
Yeah, the budget,
and you were like, "Oh, this is why the start of the movie sucked ass so much." It's like all the money went on this shot. yeah.
And he goes up those steps and he meets evil psychotic Doctor Strange, and he's talking about how in no universe did they ever get Christine, and that because they'll never get it, he's actually wanting to kill every Doctor Strange so that they don't have to live in a universe where they don't have Christine. And I was like, that is epic. That is so badass. And then, but he's like, Doctor Strange wanted to make a deal with him. He's like, yeah, I'll give you what you want, but you have to leave that Christine that you brought here with me so that she's forced to love me. I was like, that is mental. Give me a story, like get a whole movie of that, because that's crazily awesome. And I think those, like, they could have been two separate movies and they would have been both great. But yeah, I think what they went with was a bit sort of weird.
It's a bit wacky. It
was a bit mad, like.
It was a bit strange, wasn't it? It was a bit strange at the end of it. Yeah. 100%. Adam, your general thoughts on
this won't be the first time I'll say this, but America ruined it.
As in the character, or
yeah.
I just need to clarify that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was just taking
Moving on.
Because I was like, if without context, that does sound completely different. But yes, the character America, which is I'm not familiar with that character. Is she kind of a new addition to the comics, or are you familiar with her?
No, I never heard of her. But I mean, like, I don't
she
read
almost
a lot of Marvel comics. So
she almost felt like
be
that kind of character from the Avengers game. Do you remember her?
Miss Marvel?
Kamala Khan. There's a TV show about her coming.
Yeah. It almost felt a little bit like her in a way.
Right.
Like what's that kind of fish out of water kind of thing? But yet she kind of knows more. So it's like a fish out of water that knows a lot. It's really, really strange. And that's the
hey.
I think without that character, yes, I think this could be a stronger movie. I think you could make the two work, the Wanda and the whole clash that Strange has himself. I think that's all that's needed. I too really love what they did with the Scarlet Witch. I don't think the setup to her is great, even if you watched WandaVision.
No, in
it
fact,
really doesn't lead up to this at all. In fact,
it's terrible.
But this is the Scarlet Witch I would expect. You know, when I was younger, Scarlet Witch was a villain. Like, I'm not familiar with this good guy Scarlet Witch at all, because that's quite a new addition, I think. So I think the general consensus, I've kind of looked online, there seems to be even like a petition or something like that. Like they're coming out to apologize to fans of what they did to Wanda. People are not happy that Wanda's a villain in this.
Okay.
Which is strange to me, because I think that's actually the best part of it.
Yeah, I'm super happy Wanda's the villain. I'm just not happy with how it was done. It's kind of strange that hey, that's gonna be the keyword of the day. Unlike Skyrim,
actually, maybe this movie's genius.
Maybe it's fucking fantastic.
We don't get it. We don't get it. We're not.
Well, okay. First of all, I strongly disliked the movie. I didn't have a good time. There were moments.
What are you talking about? You were laughing throughout the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I was laughing. Like, okay, in one way, I had a fantastic time. I had a blast, but I also wanted my money back. So I was kind of conflicted in that way. I was quite excited going in, hearing that it was a mixed review MCU movie, because sometimes those ones are, to me, a little bit more exciting. Like I like The Dark World. Sorry, everyone. I
also like Dark World.
The best Thor movie.
My favorite Guardians is actually the second one.
Oh, I don't share that one, but I also I really enjoyed Eternals, which everyone also hated. I really enjoyed it, and I also don't hate The Incredible Hulk. I don't. I think it's actually okay. So some of the ones that are like rated lower, sometimes I actually like. Oh, I kind of enjoy it. Maybe it just appeals to like what the kind of things I like. So I really thought I was going to enjoy this movie, but then the more I was hearing about it, I was like, oh, maybe I won't, because I was hearing a lot of it was like Army of Darkness. I watched quite a lot of that movie once, and this was when I was young. Like, this wasn't even like as an adult who's maybe a little bit more cultured about movies. This is as like a child who should enjoy a movie like that. I couldn't finish it. Not because it was in any way scary, but because I was like, what is this shit? Like, what the fuck? I also saw the movie Drag Me to Hell before, and I hated that too. And that is a wacky fucking movie where you're like, is this supposed to be scary or is it supposed to be funny? I'm fucking confused. And maybe it's supposed to be both, but it's not gelling well and I'm not enjoying it. So then when I was hearing that it's more like those than it is like, say, Spider-Man, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not going to like Sam Raimi's new movie. Like, maybe I'm not going to enjoy it. And I really didn't.
I think I enjoyed this more than you did.
Yeah,
I think so too.
First time I've seen, like, it's been a while since you came out of a movie quite like kind of giddy.
Well, I didn't know. I don't think it's a good movie. It's definitely a bad movie. But like, it absolutely is. Like, the criticism on this is so fair.
It's very fair.
The bits I liked about it, like, they stuck with me more than the bits I disliked about the movie. You see.
Okay.
So I'm remembering the things I liked. I don't think I would watch it again, really, but I think the bits I liked were so well done in it that I can kind of, I came away with that as opposed to like hating the entire thing. So I did enjoy it more than some of the previous movies that have come out in recent years.
So interestingly, I'm kind of like the exact opposite of you, where there's moments or like ideas that I really liked, but there was so much stuff done so badly that that's all I could think about, and it took away. And I'm like, oh, like this could have been good, but the execution is so bad.
I think this is one of those films that I just think about if we were like 10-year-old kids going to see this, what would we think of it then?
Would we love it?
Because I have a feeling I probably would. I think I would come away with like, this is my Revenge of the Sith. Like, as a kid, like the darker stuff would really stick with me, and the childish stuff you kind of, well, you're a kid, so you kind of brush it off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And whereas it doesn't appeal necessarily to adults, so it's probably doing its job, I think.
Maybe maybe it's a great kids movie, but I don't know. Like, it's funny they brought up Revenge of the Sith, because I kept thinking about that, because I think it needed to be that, actually. And what I mean by that is, I think we needed to see Wanda turn to the dark side over the course of the movie,
for sure,
and let the final act be all that horror shit, where she is now the Scarlet Witch.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
That quick turn is so unlike the MCU, who feel like every character needs their own movie. That like is like, this is weird for them, who like literally it's like, oh, you know, the Wasp needs a movie, and
I don't like, just thinking back, because I only watched the like WandaVision once. It's like almost a post-credit scene a little bit, isn't it, where the Darkhold takes over a little bit. They haven't really, like, that should be her struggle with that. It should be the most of the movie. And that when she sees the opportunity, like, she should be helping Strange through the multiverse. Firstly, don't have America in it at all, right?
Well,
not at all.
But even if they were going to do America,
no.
But even if
never do America,
right? Because no, they obviously have, because like it was to me a weird character to have in a Doctor Strange movie. But there's obviously a reason for her, unless she's a Doctor Strange character. I'm not sure, but there's obviously a reason. They obviously have plans for her in the future.
Probably
it's the only reason she's in this movie, right? So
she's getting her own TV show.
Yeah. If they felt like they had to have her in here, why wasn't the plot just that she is searching through the multiverse for her lost parents? Nothing's chasing her.
But I feel like they could do that her parents in a different film.
And then she comes across Strange. You know,
but I think they could do that in a different film. Like, I don't think that has to be.
No, I get it.
Like,
but
introduce her into Fantastic Four or something.
Yeah,
I don't understand why this. They are already trying to deal with the multiverse coming off the back of Spider-Man. Like, why isn't it the events of Spider-Man caused something here,
like a rift or something in the multiverse,
and that
right?
It could be an evil Strange is after Christine. Like, that could be the plot, and that it's with the help of Wanda.
He tries to get Wanda's help, but over the course of the movie Wanda is slowly turning, changing, or realizes that she has real kids in another universe. Because I quite liked the thing of wanting the kids now. Like, people have brought up, is like, didn't she just make her kids in WandaVision? Why didn't she just make her kids again? Like, what's the... But I get that it was like, she wants the real ones.
Yes.
She wants the ones that if she stopped, like... Yeah, she wanted to be a real mother.
Yeah, I
like
do
Pinocchio
think,
wants to be a real boy.
I think apart from Zemo, and obviously Thanos, this is the best motivation I've ever seen for a villain in the MCU. Like,
wanting your kids.
Her reasoning for doing it, and her kind of, even the snap out of it, I think, although that was a little bit rushed too, but the snap out of it I thought was well handled. Like, she's a fantastic actor.
She's
Brilliant.
Wonderful, but I didn't always like what she was being asked to do.
No, yeah, same. Yeah, I get
or
you.
the scene that she was being placed in, like the kids hiding behind the stairs and throwing things at her and stuff. I was like, this is like, man, this is so childish.
Yeah.
Right now. And like a few moments ago, I saw her blow up a guy's head with his own mouth, and I was like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So the tone shift constantly throughout the movie, I think, made the whole experience just so fucking hard to like just get into and just enjoy. Like, you know, like if a movie is childish, fair enough, it's childish, let it be childish, and I'll just enjoy it for what it is. If a movie is dark, then let it be dark. But this was like trying to have its cake and eat it too. And actually, I know people always say this about Zack Snyder, the style over substance thing. I've never felt more that way about a movie, I think, than this one. I think this movie is totally style over substance.
I don't think it really has a style. And I think it probably should.
Oh, because I don't think it has much substance.
No, I don't think it does any of them, actually. You know, because like because the style is like I can't quite pick out what it is, and I think it maybe this movie would have benefited a little bit from the WandaVision style a little bit. Is that firstly, this is called Multiverse of Madness. We're not really getting any form of madness in the sense of a multiverse, right? It's like they kind of walk through. Like there's a scene where they fly through all the various multiverses. Surely we should be getting moments in them.
Yeah,
and it's like it's not really like if it dealt with the WandaVision style thing that every time they go to a different multiverse,
it's a different genre movie.
Exactly, yeah. That
could have been interesting.
Then he can add in the wacky stuff, right? The whimsical shit as well as the horror shit. Like it could almost be like the Page Master only with Doctor Strange. It's like every world you go into, the tone shifts, the music shifts.
That is such a good fucking pitch, man. Why not? That is fucking unreal. Why wasn't Doctor Strange the Page Master, but with Marvel characters? Fucking wow! You know, like you go through fantasy, you go through horror. Oh man, that's fucking amazing.
I think Danny Elfman would work there too.
Yeah, he might work better
than what he did
in that. Yeah, the music, man. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, the music was very bad. It was real bad because, like, even when the movie first starts off, you got this like orchestra of strings going, but there's not really a good melody. Yeah, straight up, there's not a good melody with all these strings going at the very start. As America and Doctor Strange are running across the rubble. And it's a really bad opening because, well, not just because of the music, but the music adds to the opening being a kind of a mess, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The music, and just, no, as well, it's like, is there a theme to this? Heroes need a theme. And this movie doesn't have a theme, or at least it doesn't play on the theme. It doesn't make the theme as there in your face. That's the hero's theme right there. That's Doctor Strange's theme, and that's Wanda's theme, and I know them, and I'm coming out, I'm humming those themes. These characters don't have these themes, and it's very jarring. It's very weird.
But it's weird when you think about it's not like Danny Elfman
it's there
is an unknown composer, with like a bad body of work or anything. Like this guy scored Tim Burton's Batman. This guy, like, people know that theme, or the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies have the music is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, this is the guy who composed The Simpsons. Yeah. Everyone knows The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So it's just weird that there was no hummable or memorable moments of music, I thought, in the movie.
I think recently though he has become really egotistical. Possibly, I don't know whether it's like there's like a laziness to it, but almost like I'm Danny Elfman. Like you'll love it regardless.
Right.
There's an element of that to him a little bit lately.
I laughed for all the wrong reasons when I heard the X-Men theme kind of play when Xavier came out in the big yellow wheelchair, and it wasn't like a yes finally, because it felt cheap. It felt really cheap. It felt really like
you want that in an X-Men movie. You don't want that in a Strange movie.
Yeah, I want that like incorporated as a main theme played in when they get to and maybe that is a thing of them signaling that look, when we get to the X-Men movies, that's our music now.
Well,
that is
so.
And maybe is a signal of that, but I don't know.
I doubt it. I think it's because he did that with Justice League as well. When
he's constantly playing other music.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he played the John Williams Superman,
and he said in his head, it's like, well, there's only one. Like, that's their tune, you know what I mean? So he's probably doing some of the similar work here. In his head, that's the X-Men tune, so that should go in here.
Like, and in some ways, I agree with him.
I agree with him there, but it's...
But in other ways, it's like, oh, well, you know...
But it goes against... It's like what we're saying here is that, like, if I was a kid, I think I would really enjoy this movie. As a kid, I wouldn't have a clue who the hell he is or what that tune is. I didn't grow up with them, but, like... No.
Right,
I grew up with them.
Yeah, yes, yeah, you grew, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So it's like, who's this for then? Well, maybe that's just a little bit of a like, I should be bringing my kid to see it, and right. Then that's just a little nod for the adults. maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you just think of the cameos? I mean, they do have full roles. The Illuminati, I suppose. What you guys think of them?
I didn't mind them. They're fine. They're there. They do a role. They die. It's a great scene, actually.
My
is
favorite scene, probably. In the whole
yeah,
movie,
actually, their death is my favorite scene.
Yeah, it is a good scene, but it plays off that, like, we got, obviously this is what Spider-Man's built on, but
Nostalgia.
I'm getting kind of, it's annoying that you're relying too heavily on this sort of stuff, and we're getting this with a lot of movies and shows, TV shows as well. They're relying too heavily on the whole nostalgia thing or the cameo thing and fan servicing, but then when you just go kill them off, then it's like, well, then what was the point of that? Like, it does give you an opportunity to have people to die in the movie, so that's nice. But I think the setup was a bit. Remember the SNL sketch, Spider-Man coming out of the portal thing?
Sure,
it's a little that in this.
Yeah. Do you think John Krasinski is going to be Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie?
Probably.
I don't know, but
that's been a fan kind of suggesting, like a fan casting for a while.
It has, yeah. And he's great. Like,
he's a very good actor, but I'd be okay with him too because he's a good actor. But
not that
I couldn't help. I don't know if the Fantastic Four ever really had great.
How do you
costumes.
make that costume good?
Yeah,
it's not a good costume.
Well, we say that about a lot of superhero costumes, and they manage to pull it off.
They find a way, sure.
Yeah.
But it may so maybe in another universe though, it's a cooler costume.
Get rid. Now in fairness, get rid of the beard because I looked at it and I went, "Oh, there's John Krasinski." I didn't go. There's Reed Richards. Get rid of the beard and give him the gray because
he needs the gray on the sides. Yeah,
he did have the gray on the side.
It was too subtle.
It's probably because his beard is too black.
Yeah.
To get rid of the beard. Patrick Stewart didn't really look like he wanted to be there.
No, and I have to say I laughed so hard when poor Patrick Stewart, he's very old now and he's an incredible actor, and I start to worry because every time he speaks he sounds not well. But there is a scene where he's like trying to pull Wanda out, the Wanda that's being possessed.
Yeah.
And it's in like the white space, and he's like, "You're trapped in the rubble. Maybe if I pull you out of the rubble, it'll pull you out." And like I was just like, he doesn't believe a word he just said. Like,
no,
like that was such that wasn't acting there in that moment. And he's a wonderful actor, but that is literally just, I'm just gonna say this. Like, this script is bullshit. Like, that's the impression I got.
Yeah, because there's a moment in as well. Adam, like, I just noticed in the corner of my eye, Adam just being like, "The fuck is this shit?" It was like the Illuminati are all like, "Oh, you're Doctor Strange. You're evil. We need to kill you." Then they all go off to fight Wanda, and then Professor X is like, "Okay, we need your help now."
Yeah,
I was just like,
"Yeah,
wait a minute, that was 2 seconds."
yeah. Like, what the pacing?
Well, there's that, and there was also what's his name? Modo? Is that
Mordo?
And he says he mentions that he's always been trying to kill him, and I'm like, since when?
Yeah.
I missed that movie. Like, where's that film?
They are seriously underutilizing that character.
And he's a great actor too.
He's a great actor.
Fantastic.
He's an amazing actor. And I'm pretty sure correct me if I'm wrong, is that character not like one of Doctor Strange's main enemies?
He would be his arch enemy.
Yeah. So how has he not gotten his move?
The end of Doctor Strange 1 was basically setting up that he's going to become
the villain,
the villain. Right? Yeah. Or no, well, they didn't set up straight away that now he is a villain. But certainly that he is going to be antagonistic towards Strange.
Yeah.
Strange has been missing for 5 years now. So over what period of time where has he always been trying to kill him? You know what I mean? There's not a lot of time between Doctor Strange 1 and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Tony Stark makes that very clear when he says how many years Thanos has been in his head. So like in the space between Avengers 1 and all of this shit, it hasn't been, what was it, 6 years?
6 years.
6 years is all.
And he's aged a lot. But 6 years. And then even when
Doctor Strange goes and is gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then comes back. So at what point has Mordo been always trying to kill him?
Yeah, they really
I don't know.
messed up there, I think.
But they also mess up in the cafe when they're talking to America, and he talks about the moment where there was a multiverse moment, incursion moment with Spider-Man, and it's like, did he not erase everyone's memory of Spider-Man and that entire event happening, or did he just erase everyone's memory of Spider-Man, but let everyone remember that the sky cracked open and a bunch of silhouettes were coming through?
That's true, actually. Yeah, we'll all forget who you are.
Yeah.
He included himself because he said goodbye to him at the end of that.
Yeah,
movie.
he included himself. So, like, did he also just...
Oops.
Yeah.
The other thing that I kind of...
That's correct.
That I came back from, and I was like, wait, hold on a minute.
Hold on a minute.
Between the two movies, the first one and this one, was he with Christine?
No. They never get together.
They never get together, right? So they weren't a thing in the first one.
He wanted it to be, but no.
He wanted it to be, but no.
Right. Okay.
I think there's like hints that at one point they tried dating, which of course they kind of confirmed in this one, because she gave him the watch and they were on a date.
Right. So that's the bit.
Yeah.
That watch is like 30 grand. What the flying like, was that just the first date? Like, I'd expect them to be married and that's their like 20th anniversary fucking gift, and she's also the richest fucking nurse in or whatever the fuck her position is. It's
she
like,
just got it off eBay for like 30 quid.
No, but yeah, maybe that's a fake, but it's a bit like that's a really expensive watch. That's a really fucking expensive watch. I thought he got it off his dad or something.
Yeah, or bought it himself, because like in the first movie,
he has a couple
for quite a while. He's very egotistical and
obviously
he's a bit of a Tony Stark.
He's Tony Stark with magic.
Yeah, but
I
always just assumed that watch like and also it represents the time when he loses his hands and he becomes a magician. So that watch has that level of sentiment to it. Not
kind of a magician, like.
Well, he is a magician. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I didn't expect. I just felt that it was a bit like, the watch is a representation of her. Then it's just I don't know. It just felt that they had to try and write in a weird
sentiment to the watch, right? Rather than just.
I don't think that's necessary. I think we got that. Yeah, she's really important to him.
yeah, 100%.
But I think I would definitely like to look through like her finances to see how the fuck she got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a moment I appreciated in the movie where, because it wasn't mentioned at all in the first one, so I watched the Doctor Strange animated movie years ago, and I actually really liked it, and then really liked the Doctor Strange character, and that's why when the first movie was coming out, I was actually really excited for it. And a big thing in that was about how he lost his sister when he was younger, and that he became a doctor because he wanted to save lives, because he could never save his sister. Amazing. And not mentioned at all in Doctor Strange 1, the movie, at all. And then in this movie, there's a moment where he talks about his sister to the other Doctor Strange to kind of, it's like, this is something we would both understand. And I was like, cool. This is really cool that you're finally bringing that up. Like, this is like, Bruce Wayne finally mentions his parents. But why only now? And I don't know, like, why wasn't that like, why didn't they do it for like a flashback to open the movie of when Strange was young and lost his sister?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would have been, it just, in that moment, it felt like it was out of nowhere, because she's never been mentioned at all. Or why wasn't the watch, okay, and it didn't have to be an expensive watch, why wasn't the watch something to do with the sister rather than having to do something with Christine all the time? Or why didn't they like use an opportunity where in another universe he gets to meet his sister alive? There's just a whole avenue there that
definitely
is actually crucial to his character that they've kind of just waltzed over, I think.
Yeah. And was he always Tony Starky?
I don't know.
I don't recall.
I don't know. I'm sure there's different interpretations.
Do you mean just in the comics general or in the MCU? Oh, well, yeah, no, I don't know.
I don't recall him being that way before. That's the one thing I really liked what they did with him in Infinity Wars. They kind of scrapped that version of him a little bit.
Yeah, I liked that he was thinking big stakes all the time.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like the greater good, and even in that moment in Infinity War when he gives the time stone, Infinity War is just so good. When he gives the time stone in that moment, and you could see it in Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing in that moment. So you could see in his eyes that he's like, I hope this works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know there's like he's got a plan, but he's after gambling the universe on it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite moments in the, and I mean, there's so many ways they could have gone with this second movie,
Sure.
in terms of exploration. But I think, isn't it the guy in the church asks him, was it really the only way? Like,
That moment is really
that's
nice.
really fucking good, because there's a moment of, in Strange, there's a moment of like, actually maybe there wasn't, maybe it isn't, but he's like almost convinced himself that is the only way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's like just told himself to move on now because like, yeah, I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
So
But someone creates that doubt, like maybe it could have done. And I actually thought then that conversation was going to open up
yeah,
the way the movie was going to go, that maybe he was going to start even just looking at other universes to see, did I do something wrong? And in that,
or
would
why wasn't
open
this
up
this could have been an opportunity, as like this could be a Zemo-y character, that it's like that's his. He's just a normal dude, and he's looking for methods and ways to get back at Strange for the things that happened.
Yeah.
He wants his cat back. You know?
I thought that was great, the way they set that up, because when he,
What do you mean?
well, he mentions the cat, doesn't he?
He says his cats. He's lost 2 cats.
He's
right?
lost
And then,
2 cats.
And then his wife.
And then his wife, yeah. So the 2 cats, it's almost like a moment of, like, really? And then he mentions the wife, and it's like, oh shit. Like, it really, and then you're kind of like, oh shit. But then why did I laugh at the cats thing? Like, that's really sad too, actually. You know,
When I
just
think about it,
yeah, it just contextualizes the loss of, and you can see it in his performance too. I really like that scene.
That guy was really good, and I don't know why he wasn't in it more.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
and
that guy was actually really.
they even credited him in the end, going as and Wish, you know, and they gave him his name, and it's like, huh, okay. Like, is he supposed to be a specific character or something? I don't know. But like, I mean,
was he not in the first one?
Was he in the first one? I don't know.
Was he?
I thought he was like the other surgeon chap.
Oh, was he one of the doctors? It's been a while since I've seen the first one.
That's what I thought when he came up and he sat and he
that
started
makes sense.
and he was talking to Doctor Strange like as if they used to be friends, but now he's blaming him for everything. So I just kind of thought, is that that?
That's really good.
No, I could be wrong, because again, it's been a very long time since I only seen the first one once. So
really?
I could be wrong there. Yeah.
I've seen it more than once. I didn't enjoy the first Doctor Strange. I was quite disappointed with it. I didn't think it lived up to the tone of the trailers. I know a lot of people really do enjoy it, but it wasn't for me. But I have to say, I dislike this one less.
Really? I definitely prefer this one.
I didn't think this was as good a movie as the first movie, just as a movie would be. Like, I thought the first one was at least consistent in its tone and in its telling, regardless of whether I liked it. I just thought this one was a mess. Personally, even though there's moments, I would say, in this second movie
guys
that are better than anything in the first movie, but as a movie experience, I don't think it's as good.
They're both just awful.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
But I think this is kind of just to kind of move on a little bit to, like, I think that's my feeling with Phase 4. I haven't seen everything with Phase 4 yet, but I don't really care to either.
No, neither do I. So far, Phase 4 just looks like it's kind of like, it's starting to remind me. It's starting to remind me of like Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed now. It's like they did Assassin's Creed 3, and now they're like, oh shit, we don't know what to do now. Let's just start throwing out lots of Assassin's Creed and hope for the best. And people just keep buying it because it's Assassin's Creed. And now they're like doing their own thing. And like so now that's what it feels like. It's like with the first phase, they're building up to Avengers. With Avengers, they show Thanos, and all the fans, of course, on Twitter and all social media would have told everyone else they're building up to Infinity War. Okay, Grant, so we're building up to Infinity War, the Infinity Stones of Thanos. Grant. And now, no one knows what the hell they're building up to, apart from just introducing all the Fox characters and possibly the Celestials. But maybe they're introducing the multiverse. So it's either the multiverse is going to become the bad guys with Charlize Theron, or the Celestials are the bad guys with Arasham. I don't know. I don't know what they're building up to. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels very directionless. And I mean, I kind of said it when it came out of Endgame anyway, where I wish that was the last one.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that from a point of like, down with this shit. Like, I'm not trying. I actually, like, a part of me as well was watching Endgame and going, if only they'd had the Fantastic Four and the X-Men by then, you know, and we got it all on the screen in one big go. It would have been incredible. But also, things are good because they end, and you don't want them to. And like, there is a thing about knowing when to quit before something just fizzles out. Like Pirates of the Caribbean is another one I come back to, where they had a really solid trilogy, really strong, and then they just kept making them, and they're
going to still.
Yeah, and it's not going to be good.
No.
it's
Star Wars.
Yeah, Endgame was such a phenomenal
Lord of
finish.
the Rings.
Yeah, you have to stop at some point. You know, you have to.
Well, the
when
Lord of the Rings
the
trilogy
end.
is amazing.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is
I
incredible.
know, but anything post that?
You shut your horror mouth, man. That was everything in that is amazing. No, that's not true. The Hobbit was a bit of a mess, but that's just down to timing.
You like elements from The Hobbit, and you like The Hobbit because you want to like The Hobbit.
Yeah, but ultimately The Hobbit is fucking shite.
Yeah, it is pretty piss poor. Yeah.
And we'll just see how this Rings of Power goes.
Yeah, again, hope it's good. I hope everything's good. Like, I don't want stuff to be bad. I don't go in rooting that. I hope
it's been long since we've had any hope.
But I never go into anything going, I hope this is shit. And that's why
no. I mean, you wouldn't go see it then.
Why would you? So but that's why I've kept
wouldn't
watching. That's why I've kept watching like these MCU movies, because I'm like, no, I hope they're good, and I hope we get to that point where it's like, okay, now I see what they're setting up, and now there's a reason to be excited again.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I actually haven't. I don't know where they're going with any of this. It feels aimless.
We're 5 or 6 movies in now to Phase 4.
Yeah, already, and we
still haven't got Doctor Doom. What the hell?
Lads,
how have we not? What?
What are you doing, guys?
But you know they're going to introduce Doctor Doom, and he's still not going to be done right.
No, it's not. He's going to be the Loki or something of this fucking.
Well, they missed an opportunity, I feel, when they cast Mads Mikkelsen as the villain of Doctor Strange 1, which was one of the most throwaway villains in the whole MCU.
Definitely.
Because he's such a good actor, and he would have made a perfect Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
For Latveria, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, he'd been awesome. I don't know who would make it good. Hopefully they'll find someone. But anyone would be better than that guy in that other Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Both of them actually.
This is technically the third one that's kind of dealing a little bit with alternate realities and multiverses, isn't it? How
do you mean? Like, so after Spider-Man and then after like WandaVision, or what?
Yeah, a little bit in WandaVision, but
Loki. Loki.
Yeah, Loki. Spider-Man now Doctor Strange. So this just seems to me that this is their method and opportunity to bring in the Fox heroes, but they're not very consistent with their variations of hero.
Yeah, I did say that when we came out. I didn't understand how the variance seems to work, because with Doctor Strange they're all the same, and Wanda, it seems they're all the same. But when it comes to Spider-Man, they're all different, and with Loki they're all different. But with Charles Xavier, they're the same. But with Reed Richards, they're different. So they don't. There's no consistency with the variants. Because in one of the universes, Loki's a crocodile.
Surely that makes sense, though, that there's no consistency with the variants.
Well, kind of. But then it's like, well, why is it that you're using the same actor for some versions, but different actors for other versions? Like, why is it John as Reed?
Because they vary.
But not all of them do.
Like
Wanda doesn't.
Like, some of the Doctor Stranges, maybe some of the many Doctor Stranges are better than Cumberbatch, but maybe there are Doctor Stranges out there that are not.
Maybe we haven't seen that.
No, we haven't seen that exactly, but we it doesn't mean that it isn't the case. It just means we haven't seen it.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, it probably is
It kind
that,
of just
but it does.
feels to me that they're like, well, we know what the audience wants, so we'll just stick with that.
Yeah. It's like when it suits to be a cameo, it'll be a cameo, and when it suits to use the actor we're already paying, then it'll be the actor that's already paying.
And then they start. I think recently they've come out that they're going to start. They've gotten the rights to use Stan Lee's likeness, so they're going to CGI him. So he's going to.
Oh no!
Yeah,
do not do that.
Yeah.
Do not do that. That is not a good idea. I actually thought I thought what would be a lovely idea post Stan Lee is to give Kevin Feige a cameo in every movie, because he really is the one that, like, he is really the person behind it, the MCU.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, while in the beginning they felt they all had Stan Lee to thank for Marvel, fair enough, but at this point they have Kevin Feige to thank for what this whole experience has been, which has really, for better or worse, has changed.
Successful.
No, but it's super successful, but it has changed cinema. For better or worse, has absolutely changed.
You can always see the smile on Eric's face.
Yeah. No, but
no, I'm just the minute you said it, I'm just
cinema.
I'm just thinking of Martin Scorsese.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Actually, I'm pretty sure Elizabeth Olsen had a comeback to that. Actually,
Well, everyone has their own take, and then Ethan Hawke,
of course,
has his as well. So
he does. Yeah.
I liked his. I sent that into the group chat. I liked his.
It's more in line with my own. Yeah.
Is it?
Well, Ethan's kind of take on it, the idea that, like, other movies exist.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah. As well as.
There's other like
they're fun. They're fun, but other movies exist.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah, of course they do. Yeah. I really want to see Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I don't mean that. I mean the title of a movie.
That's a Michelle Yeoh film, isn't it?
Apparently, that's someone who has seen both that and Doctor Strange said that's a way better multiverse movie.
Oh, cool.
Fair enough.
So it's supposed to be nuts, but in a really good way. It's supposed to be a great movie.
Still, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is, in terms of the Marvel stuff, is the best multiverse movie for sure.
100%,
oh yes,
100%, and I can't wait for the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel's going to be cool.
But how has Kevin Feige not gotten an award for what he has managed to accomplish?
Probably because there's
there one?
Yeah, like there isn't
no
one,
category.
and nobody else. Like, he has invented.
Yes,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
So give him a fucking award.
I get what you're saying, but like an award is usually like for, it's like, so you stood out amongst the rest of them. For doing this
you'd
thing,
have to be up against people, wouldn't you?
Nobody else can stand up against him. Like,
but no, hold on now.
No.
You're only talking about film awards. I'm talking about a Nobel Prize, for crying out loud. Oh, this guy invented freaking electricity, so we'll give him an award. This guy,
I see what you're saying, right?
I don't think those are comparable. You mean a Nobel Peace Prize? No.
No. This would be a Nobel War Prize, considering the amount of fights there's been online. But anyway,
yeah.
But he should get an award for what he has done.
Somebody should invent a category for him.
I'm sure his bank account is nice enough.
To be fair, they made up. I was just about to say they made up a bullshit category to give out an award for the Oscars. So
so
they absolutely can just make up a best.
Yeah, but again,
long form producer.
Yeah, but then again, there has to be competition.
So who'd you put up against him? Maybe
Kevin Feige, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. There you go. Done. That's enough. Kevin Feige wins. You pick him, her. You pick who gets to pick? Someone who works for Netflix, maybe, who runs many shows.
Yeah, but I don't think like,
you know what I mean.
Even Kathleen Kennedy isn't even on the same ballpark.
No, I know that. Yeah, Adam,
he's been here since X-Men.
No, but that's like you know when
that's the point though.
You know when there's like best actor, and like it's fucking obvious who's getting it, and the other three are just there to fill the category, but it's like they haven't a fucking hope.
But they've been nominated by the Academy, so
yeah, they have to nominate 4 people, but they only want to pick one.
So they'll just. But I'm just saying,
they don't care.
Guy deserves an award for employing so many people. He's given so many people
Employer of the
jobs.
Year award.
Employer of the Year.
That's what he gets instead of like Great
Like, he's
producer,
given people
filmmaker, just
so many, like, because I think that was part of what Elizabeth also was saying as well. It's like there's so many people have put so much work into these movies. Now, in fairness to the set design for Doctor Strange too, right?
Yep.
Some of the sets were great. I mean, that corrupted haunted house thing and the stairs, cool,
awesome,
amazing. How the hell did they build that and not a rooftop?
Yeah, just find a roof, guys, and get on it. Like you
actually have a roof.
Millions
in
spent
Endgame
on these movies.
I feel like that was
get on a roof.
The time thing. They ran out of time.
Pickup.
During COVID?
No, not necessarily during COVID. I'd say it was like either something was off and they needed to reshoot it, or maybe there was clash with actors and they couldn't get them at the time. I just think that's the film is technically done. It's finished. It's being edited. We just need to get this one thing in, and that was a very quick shoot to get that scene in.
I think it's okay to delay a movie if you need a bit longer to finish a roof. I'm okay with that. You can delay the movie and finish it.
But then they won't have enough time for their other 3 Marvel movies to come out this year.
What would your thoughts be on movies? Okay, so not necessarily in the theater, but once it comes to Blu-ray and things like that and digital distribution, that they get patches. Like video games.
Like video games do?
Yeah, so that if there was they could improve the CGI on this particular scene, that they patch that, it downloads it and fixes the scene.
I mean,
I'm okay with that.
I'd be okay
if it means that you're going to buy a movie and it's going to look like, I have no interest in buying this movie, but if there was a movie you're going to buy that maybe you did enjoy, and then it's going to look even better than when you saw it, why not?
I would love that. That would be amazing because they would have the time to do it. But companies won't do that because when people start to catch on that all they have to do is wait and not bother go to the cinema to see it and they'll get the better version, then they're losing out.
Well, I think
nothing would change the fact that the story would be spoiled though.
Yeah,
most people go to the cinema to make sure.
But you kind of have that anyway, like, right? Like my own setup is better than the fucking theater. Like I have a much better experience watching at home than going to the theater, but I'll still go see it in the theater because of that reason. I don't want to get spoiled. But not many people are collectors. Not many people actually do buy Blu-rays and buy it digitally or anything like that. And some people have that attitude anyway when it's like, I'll just wait for it to come streaming. So I think that if anything, might increase physical sales, having this idea that, but then it could have that problem where it's like, at one point, when's it ever done, you know?
yeah Which movie in the upcoming MCU, of the ones that are announced or that we know of, would you be most interested in to see what happens or what they do with it?
Blade. It's long way away, but that's the only thing I'm interested in.
Yeah, Blade.
The one where they say that the MCU is now going to finish, and this is the last one. That one. I'm really interested to see how they're going to finish it.
Yeah, how do you top Endgame?
I don't know.
I really don't know. Like, that was such
It will be tricky.
Like, well, it'd be like just doing it again, but now there's more faces, maybe. But it's like, you can really only do that moment once before it just feels like you're just doing it again.
Yeah, you actually just don't see anything else on screen. It's just loads of faces just like on screen because of all the different cameos.
Yeah, it's like a game of Where's Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So you're just looking forward to when they finish the MCU.
Yeah. Because like at this point again, it just feels like like Assassin's Creed. It's like they're just going to keep going and going.
Will they ever finish it?
See, I don't know. Is it going to be like FIFA? Is it going to be like,
but like, no,
Skyrim being re-released all the time?
So for a moment though, like if to think about it, it's like, okay, we could end the MCU. Cool.
Yeah, why would you?
And then what do we do? Like, we'll never make Marvel movies ever again? Or do we reboot it? And if we're going to do that anyway, why not just keep making the MCU?
Yeah, what's more annoying, constant reboots or just a continuation of a consistent series?
The only thing about reboots is we get fresh interpretations.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But now with the multiverse, you can get...
with the multiverse, you can still do it.
So by setting that up, have they put themselves in a position where it's like, well, why end this? But then it's like, well, like at what point do we do a marathon? Because it just keeps going. Versus like, it's nice when you have your box set with your whole series in it, and like that's it. That's for a limited time period.
Okay.
This was the series. So
I suppose they can keep going with it, but I suppose maybe just space out the movies a little bit more. Just get to a point where you can kind of go, right, let's just
one a year,
2 a year at max. One for the first half of the year, one for summer, one for Christmas at max.
But you don't actually have to watch them.
No, you don't have to watch them. Of course, you don't have to watch them. But I just mean, just give like other movies a chance. Give your filmmakers a chance to even finish the movie, so that you don't end up having moments where it's like, well, that's really bad CGI.
So is your
that's really badly edited.
Issue with the, because I agree with you. Like I think it's overwhelming seeing that many come out so frequently.
It's like overload.
But is it like, for you? Is it like I just need a break from it, like mentally? Or is it that I just think we would get a better movie if there was more time spent on it?
But both, really.
Both.
All of the above.
All of the above.
All that apply.
What you just said, I love it and I agree with it. You just say it again.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I'll do that. I'll do that again.
Yeah. All of those things. You know what I mean?
All those things.
Yeah.
It just kind of, because it is bringing in revenue. It's giving loads of people's jobs. But then if you keep doing them, Siri, no, don't talk to me. Right, but then it will get to a point where everyone will get starved of it, and then it will start to die out, and then it dies in a way not by their own hand, which is not nice.
But that's to me like some of the issue with it. Like, and although like I understand where Elizabeth's coming from in terms of, obviously you want to defend the fucking movie you're working in.
Yeah,
that'd be absolutely crazy not to defend that.
Of course they do. Is she dead? By the way, is Wanda dead?
Well, there's just so many versions of them, isn't there? Scarlet Witch is dead.
Scarlet Witch, that Scarlet Witch is dead.
Yeah,
there might be another Scarlet Witch that won.
Yeah. Because I mean, it would be a shame. Like it was such a, it was almost an off-screen death. If you get me, like it just happened, and she's such a great actor and actually one of the more interesting characters, that it would be a shame if that's her gone. I would like,
and she's anyway ridiculously powerful. I don't really understand her power.
Oh no, even in the comics,
she was
witches.
Crazy.
There was a storyline which WandaVision was very, very, very loosely based on, where she mentally enslaved the world. And it's amazing. And the whole thing is basically like Wolverine realizing that none of this is real and trying to break out of it, and then trying to break other people out of it, and it was fucking great. But yeah.
Because like just a moment where it's like, oh, this is Black Bolt, he can kill you with just a like whisper. He's like, what mouth? Or whatever the fuck you know. But with just his mouth. What mouth? And then it's like they just matrixed him and just closed his mouth. And I was like, what is her power? I thought she got her power from the Mind Stone, and all of a sudden she can bend reality to her will.
Yeah, she can bend reality. That's her actual power.
Wow. That's crazily dangerous. Also, why is it every time there's like an evil object, there's like a million of them, but when there's a good object, there's only one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You haven't seen WandaVision, though, have you?
No, but I got the gist.
It's actually really good up until
a good show. There's
there's a point where it becomes
up until it was Agatha all along. It was pretty good.
It's like, oh yeah, okay, here we go, the fucking CGI fight scenes. But up until that point, it's actually really, really good and explores her character and what she's capable of. And it's quite psychological in terms of There's a horror element to that as well, although not scary. It's more like if you imagine,
if you think about it, it's scary.
It's like the fact that she's able to do that's scary as opposed to what happens. It's actually quite decent.
I enjoyed WandaVision. I actually enjoyed up to a point as well. I think they're not good at ending their shows, but I enjoyed the Falcon and the Winter Soldier up to a point as well. I quite liked the tone of it, and I liked some of the subject matter. I thought it was handled really well, and I really liked Anthony Mackie's character, his reasons for not wanting the shield, but also other people's reasons for why you shouldn't have that shield.
Yes.
and very different views on it. Like, I love when they use Captain America as a character, and they did it really well in Winter Soldier. They use it as a character to kind of discuss America, not just the character, but just to discuss how people feel about what does it mean now, what does the American dream mean now, and all that stuff. So I think that stuff's really cool.
Jumping through portals
with
and
a blue
having
star.
2 moms. I found that bit so fucking funny because I couldn't. It's the way she said it. It's like, I lost my moms. Because I thought
I thought she meant a singular mom, but
yeah.
she just like
I thought it was like CJ,
pops,
you know,
pops,
it's
you know?
CJ from San Andreas. It's like,
right, my mom's.
I lost my mom's.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right.
But then actually, like,
two mothers. Okay.
You mean
all right.
that? You mean
2 mothers?
I mean,
right,
that's cool.
okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now I'm with you.
I thought you were just being hip.
Yeah. I am glad to have this visual aid. It is helping me understand you. Awesome. Okay, so just final verdict on Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Your final thoughts before we end this off.
Not great.
Not great. No, not very good.
Okay, here's my one. Are you ready, world? And I'm sorry for anyone who really enjoyed it. The last time I felt like this coming out of a cinema was Joss Whedon's Justice League. Yeah, that bad.
And Danny Elfman.
There's no way
both
of
those movies.
I felt, that's how little I enjoyed it. But I would love to hear from you guys, and if you guys have very different opinions to us, fucking bring it on. I love it. Jump down to the comments on YouTube, share your thoughts. How did you feel about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? And how do you feel about MCU Phase 4 in general? What are you looking forward to coming out in the future? And where do you hope they're going? Or maybe because you follow it more closely than maybe we do, or you have read so many comics and maybe you've actually picked up on where they're going. Maybe you know where they're going and explain to us where they're going so that we have a better understanding, because maybe we just don't get it, and maybe it's going to be like unreal what they're setting up. I don't know. Let us know down in the comments, brushes YouTube, and if you enjoyed this discussion, please do give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell for all future content. If you guys are listening to us on audio platforms, and you can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, to give your take on Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, and the MCU Phase 4. Thank you very much for checking out this week's episode, guys. We'll be back to talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.